And the guy who has killed me all year long, and he never lets me hear the end of it, and yes, off to Hawaii he goes in the middle of this month, thanks to yours truly. Mr. Theismann, Joe, it's 5.5 the line.
It's down.
Oh, was it now 5?
I thought it was 6.5 at one point. I guess the Dwight Freeney issue has changed things.
I haven't looked at it. I thought 5.5.
Is that what's said in the paper?
I'll look to confirm it.
Doesn't matter.
But let's assume it's 5.5.
Yeah.
Where would you go with here as far as the game is concerned?
I still think the Colts are.
It's 5, Joe. It's 5.
I still think the Colts are probably a touchdown better at this point than the Saints. The whole thing to me in this football game is how well will Greg Williams, or what conceptually will he come up with to try and derail what Peyton's able to do offensively. And I think he has a problem with it because when they played the Arizona Cardinals, the Saints did, Anquan Bolden didn't play. That's huge, being out of the lineup.
Right.
When you play the Minnesota Vikings, Sidney Rice was the man. Bernard Berrien had a big game, but he wasn't going to scare anybody. Visanthe Shenko had a pretty good game. Now all of a sudden you get the Indianapolis Colts. Reggie Wayne will always line up on the left side of the formation. You realize that?
Is that true?
That's true.
I didn't know that.
This comes from Tom Moore being in Pittsburgh, the offensive coordinator, with Lynn Swann on one side of the field, John Stallworth on the other. Both of them stayed on the same side of the field.
All the time.
All the time. Reggie Wayne, 99% of the time, will be to Peyton's left. They'll go tight. They'll go Reggie, maybe a slot over there, but they're going to be 2 by 2. They're going to have 2 receivers on one side, 2 receivers on the other, one of them being the tight end. I think Dallas Clark in this game presents a problem for New Orleans a little bit in the middle of the football field, because if you can run the ball at all, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, the linebackers get very edgy. They're a downhill playing football team, so the middle becomes a little bit vulnerable. But then you have Pierre Garçon, and then you have Austin Collie.
Right.
You wind up with Austin Collie on your third corner. I like that. It basically would be Randall Gay against Austin Collie. I like that matchup.
Who guards Clark? They're going to put Sharper on Clark?
I don't think you can afford to do that.
Because he's a ball hog. You
don't want to bring him too close to the line of scrimmage, because then you expose the posts to the bigger guys.
So they're going to put a linebacker on Dallas
I think
Clark?
you have to try and do it. I think what you do, if you're the New Orleans Saints, you play a lot of zone. We've seen a lot of aggression, but I think Greg has to be a little careful when and how he goes after Peyton. I mean, you're going to have to give him varied looks in every quarter.
Right.
This is one of those games where,
even if you're successful, you got to get off it.
I've got to get away from it a little bit, maybe come back to it in the third. So you can't feature one type of attack versus Peyton Manning, because it'll happen the way it happened against the Jets.
Right.
He's going to figure. He took a quarter to figure it out, but then the next 3 belongs to him.
Right. So in other words, even if he is successful blitzing, and everybody thinks you have to blitz to get him out of rhythm, but even if successful, he has to get off that occasionally to do something else and forfeit a series if he has to, just so he doesn't get himself in rhythm against the one specific defense.
The worst thing you can do is allow Peyton to get a feel for what you're doing. Here's the thing, too. You bring up blitzing, going after Peyton. The Jets tried that. That's what the Jets do by nature. They brought people. Then all of a sudden you saw in the second half of that game a lot of 5-yard quick posts, a lot of 5-yard quick. We call them smoke routes. Just stand up and throw the football. If you decide you want to come after Peyton and he hits Reggie Wayne or Pierre Garçon or Austin Collie or even Dallas Clark with the ball with no help within 30 yards, and you've got one-on-one.
Yeah, here's the break a tackle. It's a touchdown.
That's the problem you face. So it's a little bit, this is the game where if you're going to take chances, you take chances, because there's no tomorrow.